What's up guys, my name's Dychronic here on this Destiny 2 video, and today we're going to be talking about my top 5 favorite Black Armory weapons that came with the DLC. Now these weapons are in no particular order, they're just my 5 favorite weapons from the DLC because of the chances and the roles that they can have on them. That's going to be the general focus of this video, is talking about the new roles that can be on these weapons. Now that's not just the new perks, it's also the chances that the new combination of perks that you can have on these weapons that make them so very interesting and so very fun to use. So in Black Armory there's 3 different locations that you can get these weapons. Firstly, from the new raid, there's a lot of different weapons that can spawn there. Secondly, the bigger one is going to be the Forge, being able to forge these weapon frames directly from Ada. And then lastly, just from a random drop, there's a lot of black and red guns that drop from like forged saboteurs or just randomly throughout the world that you can get along the way. And then the last, I guess, kind of fourth section is just going to be any weapon with the Black Armory symbol in the corner. For example, the Do Not Compute is not a black and red kind of weapon, but you can get it from Crucible. There's a lot of different weapons like this scattered about. But for the most part, I'm going to be focusing on those first 3. And on top of that, I'm also not going to be including any exotic weapons. You know, there's 4 exotic weapons in the game right now, and there's a 5th one coming January 29th, last word, that we're not going to be talking about in this video. This is just going to be the legendary weapons from Black Armory. Today's video is brought to you by Black Bears because we're talking about Black Armory today. I definitely think that Ada is definitely a fan of Black Armory, Black Panthers, Black Bears, lots of stuff like that, I'm sure. I gotta be honest, look at them, they're like cute little fluffy teddy bears. Anyways, let's go ahead and get into the first one, the Raid Shotgun known as Threat Level. Now this kinetic 100 RPM, which is the fastest fire rate shotgun, has been sought after for such a long time because of the fact that it is the only kinetic shotgun and the one of 2 shotguns in the game that can have trench barrel. Trench barrel being that thing where you melee and the next 3 shots you shoot out of it do 50% more damage, allowing you to do some incredible DPS and incredible amounts of damage. So naturally, we have our Kelos in our energy slot. We're going to want to have a nice kinetic trench barrel to have in our kinetic slot. On top of the trench barrel in the curated version, this weapon can also have some pretty nice perks, including Surrounded, allowing you to do more damage when there's a lot of enemies around you, which technically can get you to higher DPS if there's a lot of enemies around you, but obviously if there's more enemies around you, you're more likely to die. Either one of these types of perks make this weapon fan-freaking-tastic. Now this weapon only drops in the first encounter in the raid, so you're gonna have to farm out that first encounter every week, at the very least, to be able to get a chance of getting this weapon to drop. Next up on this list, coming up number 2, is gonna be the Tempered Dynamo Fusion Rifle. Now this raid fusion rifle is very similar to the main ingredient, the fact that it is arc damage, it has a 700 charge time, but the curated version has backup plans and high impact reserve. Pretty much the perfect drop for anything PvP. Now obviously I'd say in PvP you want more of a middling kind of fire rate, anywhere from 700 to 800 charge time, which means that it has higher impact and better range. But the fact that this has backup plans and high impact reserves, pretty much exactly what you're looking for with the kind of alternative if you want high pressure and then high impact reserves. This is probably going to be one of the best roles you can have on a fusion rifle, especially of this type. So I highly recommend you go after this one because of the fact that it drops curated as one of the best possible roles. You're gonna have a better chance of getting it than to get a limited number of main ingredients. Next up, let's talk about a forge drop known as the Kindled Orchard. Now this is the Forge hand cannon. It is an energy void hand cannon with 140 RPM, which brings me back to those DFA Better Devil days of the 140 hand cannons. Now what makes this one so especially unique is the fact that it has Rampage and Kill Clip in 2 separate columns. Now, not a lot of people know this, but random rolls don't actually mean random rolls. You can't actually just have every possible random roll on any possible weapon. One 150 hand cannon is not the same as another 150 hand cannon. They just have a totally different set of random rolls. And in the past, Rampage and Kill Clip has almost always been in the same column, but with this hand cannon, Rampage and Kill Clip can be in 2 separate columns. That's right, you can have Rampage and Kill Clip on this hand cannon in 2 separate columns, allowing you to do the maximum possible extra damage from getting kills in the game, which is insane. And if you ever do get a Kill Clip Rampage, hopefully you get a nice reload perk on top of that, maybe a reload masterwork, a drop mag, a light mag, anything to help with the reload and make it better, because that is going to be the only weak point of this, is you're going to want to have a good reload to extend your Rampage and get Kill Clip more often. Now there's a lot of other things you can have on this weapon that are really nice. You can have Kill Clip plus explosive rounds, rounds, you can have surrounded plus rampage, you can have outlaw plus explosive rounds, the one like I have right now, which is outlaw plus explosive rounds, just brings me back to my better devil days, except for a faster reload. It is so very fun to use, and on top of that, the void is really nice because I don't often have very many void weaponry, just so many arc and solar these days. The fact of being able to use a void hand cannon is really nice. Coming up at number 4 on this top 5 list is going to be the Tartar Gauge Forge sniper rifle. Now this is an energy arc sniper rifle at 72 RPM, meaning it's the highest impact in the game, and what makes this one so very special, it is one of the only sniper rifles in the game that can have kill clip on it on a 72 RPM, meaning the highest impact in the game, allowing you, once you have kill clip, to one-shot enemies in PvP, making it an extremely powerful sniper rifle if you want to go for some crazy montage. So I'm going to repeat myself there. It is the highest impact sniper in the game, allowing for kill clip to do one shot in PvP, which is insane. So obviously the best role you can have for PvP is going to be snapshot plus kill clip, allowing you to do those faster aiming down sights and the faster kills of one-shotting the enemy. As far as PvE, I would go for more of a snapshot plus box breathing. It is one of the only sniper rifles at 72 RPM in the energy slot with a box breathing, which is really nice, allowing it to do even more damage, and in the PvE arena, that's really powerful. Outside of that, it's up to you. There's really just not really much care about the rest of the different perks, but this weapon, 72 RPM, kill clip, one-shot PvP, that's incredible. And lastly, coming up at number 5 on this top 5 list is going to be the Hammerhead Forge heavy machine gun. Now this void power weapon at 400 RPM is amazing. I absolutely love heavy machine guns. I forgot how fun they were from Destiny 1, and this one is definitely an amazing tank. You gotta get yourself multiple different versions on. Now I thought when the game initially released that this weapon would just kind of be a little bit more powerful than auto rifles and it wouldn't really tear through enemies, but I gotta say this weapon is an absolute beast for tearing through elite enemies, for large groups of enemies, and even doing good boss DPS in case you need a void damage weapon. Now this weapon has so many perks that make it so very amazing. It can have in the third column things like sway reduction and tap the trigger in case you're having difficulties with stability. It also have interesting perks like shield disruption if you're fighting a lot of minotaurs, making it so it disorients enemies near you, as well as the fact that it also has feeding frenzy. You can also get more ammo back in the magazine if you start getting kills, allowing you to go on an absolute rampage. In the fourth column, there's really interesting perks like surrounded, allowing you to do more damage with enemies around you. Rampage, if you're just absolutely going on a rampage. High impact reserves, in case you want to do more damage against the boss, or just in general more damage all the time on the bottom half of the magazine. Obviously wouldn't work with feeding frenzy as much. And lastly, mulligan. Any missed shot has a chance to return back into the magazine for free, which allows you to have a lot of free heavy ammo for any heavy ammo that you do end up missing, allowing you to do more with what you got. Outside of that, it's really up to you. I found that this one has a very poor reload time, but I've just kind of been using like rally barricades and dodges to kind of reload for me. But if you want to get things like flared magwell, light mag, any of these things would work. But yeah, that's the top 5 today. Honorable mentions to firstly the bow, the one of 2 kinetic bows in the game, the other one being very random to get from all those wanted spider bounties. I'm so glad I now have some nice kinetic bow opportunities. Another honorable mention would be to the pulse rifle. It's a 450 pulse rifle, however it is a 4 burst, making it very similar to the Go Figure, and of course Go Figure being pretty much the exact same copy with just a little bit less range. I would say just honestly, if you have a good Go Figure, there's no point to it, but those are just fantastic weapons to consider as well. And that's pretty much the video for you guys today. Let me know in the comments down below what's your favorite Black Armory weapons. If there's something that I missed or some crazy combination of roles that I missed, I'd love to go out there and grind out for them. I do know that the sword has not technically released at this point right now, however it is a sword, so I highly doubt that it's going to be anything more than any of the other swords, but I could be wrong. If I am, let me know in the comments down below, and check out the comments down below in case there's something that I did miss. But that's the video. Hope you guys did enjoy. My name's been Dychronic, and I'll see you guys on the next one.